I have a feeling that Oscar Robertson now knows why you were voted one of the best defensive players in the game.
Well, I try to get out there and make him hustle, make him run, and overplay him a great deal. Because after all, he is the quarterback of the club, and if he doesn't have the ball, then that'll give him a hard time.
Have you ever played tougher defense in your life than you played for a sustained time up there?
Well, I can remember a couple of years back when we pressed the whole game, but this is probably the best and the longest we've ever pressed this season, I would say.
Do you have, when you have the key man, the quarterback like that, does that give you an extra challenge? I mean, do you just say to yourself, it's my responsibility to keep him from doing what he wants to do?
Well, yes, before the game, you concentrate on his moves and everything. You try to, before the game, go out there and say, well, I'm going to try to keep my man down low or keep him from doing this or doing that. And, each guy had that in their minds. They went out there and tried to keep their man from whatever they were supposed to be doing. And if they got beat, then somebody else picked them up and zoned it and helped out. So I think that's why we caused them to make a lot of mistakes, because a lot of guys made up for the mistakes other guys made.
You realize you got the last 3 baskets?
I was free a lot.
Paul, you just have to be tired.
No doubt about it, Don. The humidity kind of got to us out there. We knew we had to do a job, and we went out and pressed them, and, luckily we came through. It was a very tough game, and I imagine the game on Tuesday will be just as tough, if not tougher.
Did you have a feeling in the second half as they were going along that they were becoming more and more frustrated? In other words, that they felt that there was no way they were going to be able to pull this one out?
Well, not really. I thought that they would go into the big man, which they did. But I was just hoping that we could sustain our drive, because to put the pressure on as we did for a whole game is very difficult. But we had to feel that they were getting just as tired as we were. So, luckily we are not necessarily in better shape, but that's our game running. And if they can't dominate the offensive boards, we're going to do well.
Do you expect that they'll try to do things differently to keep you from doing what you did on Tuesday?
I imagine they will work on it, Don, but if we play the good pressing defense, I don't think there's anything they can do. They lost McLaughlin, and he's a great outside shooter, and, we're going to put pressure on Oscar and Fitzwilliams, and if we can handle those two fellas, I think we'll have an excellent chance to do the job.
You never have a lax moment. Maybe you can beat him down the court, and when you wait for him, then you kind of gather yourself together. But it's just tough, because no matter where he goes, you always have to be one little step ahead of him. You always have to be trying to anticipate what he's going to do. And he's such a tremendous player, that if you give him any kind of an inch, he'll take a mile and he'll have a great game on you. And I thought he played a heck of a game today. It's just that our guards put the pressure on so well up top that they didn't have a chance to really get it into him and run their set stuff as they would have liked to. They got him tired, and their offside game wasn't working because we were playing good, tough, aggressive defense. And I have to commend the guards and the forwards for really doing an outstanding job outside, away from the ball, because that's the main way they can help me, is by pressuring the pass before it gets to him. Play the ball tough, play him tough up court, make him take a long time to get it down, and just work them, and then that old Coach Huntington's favorite, saying, the hammering effect, it takes place, and it pays at the end.
Does he actually psychologically get you up, get your adrenaline flowing more than anybody else?
No, I know he doesn't. It's just a matter of every game in the playoffs, or every game that's a big game, your concentration is at a peak, and this is what it was tonight. You just have to really concentrate, and sometimes you can concentrate and play the best you can and you still lose, but today we just happened to win, and I think the reason was because everyone played such a together defensive game.
Dave, since you play an entirely different game when you're playing against Kareem, you're outside, does it make it more difficult for you offensively because you are playing so differently?
Does it make it more difficult, or it just makes it different? Well, you just kind of have to cover a little bit more area on the half-court perimeter, and it's different, in the fact that I play outside a lot, and the movement of the ball is such that it differs from how we would play against New York, in that the ball would go inside a lot and then stop, and then you try to work one-on-one. Where here, the ball's moving around the perimeter, and you're looking to get guys working backdoor a lot, and you spread them out. This is the main thing, to keep them moving. The only way you can do that is to keep the ball moving.
My shot was off down the stretch in the New York series, and In the Buffalo series, I felt real good, but I was being pressured a lot by Randy Smith, and it's tough to shoot over guys when they're all over you. But I know that in this series, if I'm shooting pretty well, it can be really helpful to what we're trying to do with Kareem in there playing inside, and I consider myself having a guy on me that can guard me really, and Fritz Williams, and if I can move and get the shots and shoot them down when the ball is kicked around, that it will be beneficial to our winning the series. So what I was trying to do is really concentrate and try and get that back, and hopefully it'll be beneficial to winning the championship.
Was this one of the toughest games physically? I don't mean as far as contact is concerned, but just the constant running, pressure.
Yeah, Don, it does take a lot out of you to press in a game like this for 48 minutes and then push the ball back up for 48 minutes. It takes quite a bit out of you, but that's what it takes to beat this club, and that's what we're going to have to do.
Tom, there's no question that the tremendous defense holding them to 83 points was important, but what did you do differently on offense? Well, does it give you not just to win the first game, win it on their floor, but also hold them to just 83 points?
Well, I don't believe in all this psychology. You know, my players before this game knew they had a real mountain to climb today, and I hope they realize that in the next ball game they have to do exactly the same thing, and we have to do it 3 more times. We have to come out with intensity of purpose, and we got to go out and really dig it and scratch it out and play really tough and control the tempo of the game. We can't slow down for a minute. We have to play really hard, moving, no standing around basketball. I think the press really helped us a great deal. It helped to destroy the tempo of their offense. You know, they like to go where they want to go, and picked up the tempo of their offense, and they're very slow and conservative. And also when we got the ball and we had the fast break opportunities, we took advantage of them for the layups or a halfway decent jump shot. And if we didn't have it, then our patent offense, we made every one of their players play real defense, and we confused their whole defensive situation by they like to play a zone with the zone principles, and I'm sure that they'll get the films and adjust, and it'll be a real chess game from here on in. But I think today's game was the fact that every one of their ball players had to play defense for 48 minutes, and instead of standing around playing an area, they had to play a man.
Red, what'd you think of the game?
Well, what can I say? I think it was a fantastic win. I think that Tommy Heinsohn and Kill did a real good job of figuring out the fact that you've got to press them. You've got to, shall I say, interrupt their rhythm. So they get in a rhythm, their offense, their defense, their rhythm, and they make you play their game. And what we did was make them play our game, and that's what helped.
What'd you think of the job that Cheney was doing on Oscar?
Oh, I thought Cheney was fantastic. I thought JoJo was really super. I thought he played one of the best games he ever played on both ends of the court. Of course, Havlicek is Havlicek, and Collins is Collins, you know. You begin to expect super performances. But you can't beat a team like this without a super performance by more than 1 or 2 players. You just can't do it.
Did you ever expect that they would hold a club like that to 83 points?
No, not really. Not when you figure you're going to have 30, 35, or 40 from one big guy to start with.
What do you look for Tuesday for Costello to do?
Well, I don't know what he's going to do. I know we're going to try to play the same way probably. And look, anything can happen. We got our one. They got to fight like the devil to get the one back.